Before I share my testimony, I'd like to pray. Father in heaven, I praise you. I praise you for your character, for you are, and for your word, Lord. And yeah, I just pray that you be with us tonight, you be in the hearts of all of us, and just show how powerful you are and how you work wondrous things in everybody's lives, Lord. And I just lift these things up in your name. Amen. All right. So I grew up going to a Lutheran church most Sundays growing up. I made it through Sunday school, went into youth group, had my first communion, and then finally got confirmed around the age 15. I may as well call it graduation, though, because after that I became what they call the CEO at a church. I went on Christmas, Easter, and one other day every year. My life in high school was dominated by academics and sports. Overall, I was a pretty good kid and succeeded at most things I did. I received favor from the world, and in my head, that meant I was a good kid and worthy of being a Christian. As my teenage years went on, I became obsessed with my results in golf and hockey and was constantly pursuing those. I also pursued relationships and had one that lasted most of my high school. On the surface, I was doing great. I had straight A's, I was the captain of the golf and hockey teams, and the homecoming king. I thought I had it all. After a summer of chasing the same things, I finally came to Drake University. A few things happened when I got to college that got the ball rolling towards me knowing my sin and seeing my need for a Savior. The first thing that happened is that when I got to Drake, nobody really cared who I was in high school or any of the things that I had accomplished. All of the accolades and friendships from home amounted to absolutely nothing. On top of that, I leaned super hard on my life back home and was very hard towards people laboring to share the gospel with me. I thought that I could come to school, get my degree, and be plugged right back into my old life at home. I thought I could live this life alone and spent a lot of time by myself because I was leaning on my old friends. But they were making new friends, which made it very hard to sustain the friendships that I thought were very strong. The next thing that happened is for some reason I agreed to read the Bible with Jared Portinga. I claimed to him on the first day that I got to campus that I was a Christian, and obviously that led to him asking me to read the Bible with him, and so on and so forth. The funny part was that I didn't even have a Bible with me and probably hadn't read the Bible in like 2 years. So we began reading Romans weekly, but this was pretty much bi-weekly because I flaked every other week about. Somehow I made it a month into the semester and still held firm in my belief that I was a Christian, until Jared asked me the question that pierced my heart and revealed the sin and pride that I held so close. He quoted Matthew 10:37, which says, "Whoever loves their father or mother more than me is not worthy of me," and asked me if I love God more than my family. This was the first time that I contemplated my love for God and what that would look like. During this time, my longtime girlfriend that I thought would be with me forever broke up with me, and that was the last straw holding my old life together. I began going to Bible study, meeting more consistently with guys in our ministry, and thinking a lot more about my salvation. Still, I struggled with the idea that I was a Christian because I was a good person and sinned less than the person next to me. For the rest of the semester, I grew and learned a ton until I went home for my first winter break. In my head, I could come back, get a taste of my old life, go back to the good old days, but this was not the case. I found that while it was great to see my friends from home, the way they lived pulled me away from all my progress of understanding the gospel. Early into the spring semester of my freshman year, I realized that I no longer judged myself as the world judges me, and found myself delighting in reading the Word and being in community with believers who lifted me up and truly cared about me. I finally repented of all the hidden pride and sin in my life and committed myself to living a life of faith. Since then, the Lord has changed the way I live so much. I'm not controlled by my sin and fleshly desires to succeed in this world. I no longer judge myself on the worldly success and have rest in the truths of the gospel. I still have seasons where doubt, anxiety, and laziness set in, but I know that my salvation is secure and that God is using my life to glorify His kingdom. That's my testimony. If you guys have any questions after the service, I'd love to chat with you guys. Thank you.